What's up, everybody? This is Chris Nichols, and you're listening to an episode of the Nichols&Dimez Show. Enjoy. What's up, guys? So I wanted to talk about a question that I've run into quite a bit over the course of my career, both from myself and from friends and acquaintances. The question is, how do you know which industry is right for you? Which career path is the path that I should be on? And I think this applies to both somebody in an entrepreneurship position or somebody who is working in the corporate world. Whether you're a college kid looking to figure out what your job is going to be out of college, or somebody who has been working for years and you're just not fulfilled, you're looking to make a switch. And I think there are some good lessons we can take away from the entrepreneurs that I've had on the show, because I've really identified two main trends from these guests of how they got into what they're doing. And, maybe you're in a position where you are looking to start your own business, but you just don't know what to do, but you want to run your own show, right? The two major trends that I've noticed, and I'll give some examples of those, and then I'll share my own framework of what I think you can do in a simplified way to try to get more clarity on making that switch or going that direction that you are meant to be on. The first trend that I noticed in how the entrepreneurs that have been on my show got into what they're doing has been identifying a market opportunity. And it takes a very good business mind, someone who's usually pretty smart to be able to do this, but basically they're doing it in a very analytical way. They're doing it mathematically. They're identifying something in the world, something in their experience that is off, where, hey, I can make this better and turn this into a business. This type of way of going about it would include an example like David Boligolovsky, who worked at the top level production. He's the CEO and founder of Owl Vision production company in the Bay Area. So he gained some top-notch skills of the best production in the world for events, nightclubs, so forth, lighting, special effects in Las Vegas. And he realized that there wasn't any of that happening in the Bay Area of California. And so he went and took those skills that he learned and created pretty much the premier lighting special effects business for all kinds of big-time events in Northern California, whether it be weddings or nightclubs or corporate events and so forth. Noah Belkaus was another example of this with Greenwater Labs. He and his partner ran into a compound. They kind of stumbled upon a compound where he realized, hey, this can be really effective to cleaning algae in aquariums and other places. And he said, how do we turn this into a business? Thomas Harrison, founder of the Gemini credit card, also had this realization that there was no credit card out there that issued crypto rewards. So that was a pretty massive opportunity he identified and went ahead and created it. So these are some good business mind examples and people who saw this opportunity and then they went and made it happen, right? The other trend that I noticed is really driven more by some sort of passion that they have based off a personal experience that occurred in their lives. I really love talking to these people because they are so passionate about what they're doing. And this does not take away from the other examples I just mentioned. The other guys, that doesn't mean they're not passionate about what they do, but it's just more of a different way of how they fell into what they're doing, right? And I'll just give some examples of this more passion-driven approach. Kimmy Alessi, so she had a skin condition that had an impact on her. And so she turned this into a positive by going on this mission of making women feel comfortable and beautiful in their own skin with her skincare company and the services she provides. Kyle Lasota was another example. He had his mold infection that was just having a massive negative impact on his life. And that really pushed him to get into this biohacking expertise path that he took, maximizing his sleep, becoming a sleep expert, and helping others to get there as well. And Maxine Chapman was somebody else who had a similar story. She grew up in the ocean, going surfing, and with a big passion for environmentalism. So she wanted to create a sunscreen that was much better for the ocean, much better for your skin. And so she went ahead and did that. Asante Sefabwachi with Black Star Polo. Black Star Polo is a nonprofit that is focus on helping give more aquatic opportunities to African and African Americans. And he grew up in a predominantly white town playing water polo and swimming. And so he is now on this mission to bring this sport, these opportunities to places where they're not quite as prevalent. So just these are examples of personal experiences that happened that made these people on this mission that are so personal to them in their entrepreneurial journeys, right? So those are the two trends that I've noticed. And maybe you're in a position where you want to do something, but you don't know what to do, like I said earlier. So I have a little simplified framework that I put together that you can try. And it's really a journaling method that might help you get some more clarity to figure out what it is you want to do next or what you are being called to do to give you that fulfillment. And I've personally had some transitions in my life as well like this. Coming out of college, I was focused on getting into the entertainment industry. I then went into the hospitality and hotel industry for a bit, and then I moved over to technology. So pretty different things, right? And each transition was a pretty big shift, massive mental shift. And how do I pitch myself? What is my story? So that's more of the tactical stuff that we can talk about some other time. But I have helped a lot of people to approach this type of situation or transition that they're potentially facing. So the framework that I would suggest is number one, and journal all of this down. But you want to understand, who am I, right? Who am I? How do I see myself? What impact, what role, how do I want to be seen in the world, right? And so just put some high-level basic stuff. You can use some adjectives to describe you. You can use some other descriptive words about how you want to be perceived, the positive impact you want to have. So that's number one. Number two would be write down some significant life experiences you've had that have shaped who you are. And it can be good or bad, but this might help you to realize something that you are really passionate about, and it will remind you why you're passionate about whatever that is. And so that would fall into that category of the type of entrepreneur who had a personal experience and then they were driven to dedicate their lives and their careers to that in their own way because it's so personally connected with who they are. Yeah, this really will give you an answer of why am I passionate about certain things, right? The third one I would look into would be role models. Who do you look up to? What kind of entrepreneurs, what kind of figures, public figures in the world do you want to be most like, right? So you can almost create a vision board with this and put some pictures of these people on there as well. But, I have certain people out there who I consider mentors from afar, where maybe I've never met them, but I want to do things like this guy, right? Or that guy. And that also might reveal some things, and you can look at their life experience, their life history. What have they been successful with? What have they tried? And perhaps you can get more clarity on what your path could potentially look like based off what they have done. And so then the fourth step would be to take all the information you've written down, and you'll start to see some things revealed, I believe, so that you can then identify some industries that align with you. And then you'll be able to go ahead and research some of these industries to potentially make a transition towards whether you're going to start a business in them, create some sort of niche or differentiator within an existing industry, or you're going to switch career paths or go work at a new company and grow your career that way. So it really applies to both intrapreneurs and entrepreneurs in this case. But I just thought I'd share this. This is something I have personally put into action in my own life. And I've had many friends and acquaintances come to me asking for this advice. And I think it's because I have made those transitions myself, and I've been in positions where I have had to take risks, make a big move, and then try something new and kind of recreate my identity in the work environment in my career path. So hopefully you can get something out of this. My interviews with guests will be coming back real soon. It's been a nice few weeks. I've just done a few solo episodes after some time off. I was traveling, but now we are approaching the holiday season. It is December. So I hope everyone is having a nice December, a great end to the year. And please stay tuned. There's going to be some exciting innovations and updates that I'm going to implement into the podcast going into next year, just to keep things interesting, make things more digestible, make things more valuable. That's ultimately the goal Thank you all again for supporting and following. Please let me know if you guys have any questions or feedback. I'd love to hear it. And I hope everyone has an awesome week. Take care. Thank you for joining our conversation today on the Nichols and Dimes Show. Please check out and follow my podcast Instagram at nicholsanddimezshow. I'd love to have you subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube. You can also find it on my website. I welcome and encourage any feedback you can share in the reviews so I can continue to improve and develop the show. Thanks again, and see you next time.